Hello YouTube, Infinite Matchray Community Gandalf here. Today I bring you the guide on 7 stages of Liuli, the Luz boss, also known as the boss that requires the burn tag. Looking at the ranking today, so far I am on 2nd place. The most optimal team obviously is to run in with O'Grady's and a Raven pet. When you don't have that, you really put yourself in a very sticky situation because you're going to be faced with a lot of dots. I was recording earlier, unfortunately I disconnected, so I thought I'd just quickly show the clip from earlier. You can see by around stage 12, all of my allies are pretty much debuffed fully. Chelsea's the only one has a self built-in cleanse. Very soon you'll notice my entire team simply die to the sheer number of bleed stacks. See, everyone's just simply dying from all of the torn body right there. As soon as someone takes a turn, they're gonna die. So moloch has a self immunity mechanic, so you see there, that was just death to Jack and Roll as well, and Little Jack just died there as well. So pretty much, if you do not bring cleanse, you're expected to die, around turn 10 to 14. Really, what's been keeping me alive is the extra lives from Jack and Roll and the deer Bambi pet that's keeping me alive. So some people wonder, how could you get this done without Chelsea? Now remember, this is an account that I had been gifted to me. I don't know if the individual actually did it with O'Grady's or because the account doesn't actually have O'Grady's unlocked yet, right? And so this is the part where surprised me how he actually pulled it off, which I think is an amazing feat, and I think it's really cool to be able to share with one. The previous owner of this account was a master in PVE content. You probably saw Shishi Lee topping a lot of the speed run content, and I'm sure he tried a lot of attempts to make this happen. Just to show you guys this, you go to Elemental City and you look at this. O'Grady's hasn't even been claimed yet on this account. So if you're saying, oh, he must have had O'Grady's and then regressed it and then complete the challenge. Nope, he does not have O'Grady's claimed. So a lot of people actually in the guild ask me, how is this even possible? It's all about timing. So today I'll kind of talk about, really understanding the mechanics of this boss and how you can really take advantage of that timing. I can't do it perfectly yet, but I'm gonna kind of showcase a little bit in this video. Basically, he is taking full advantage of Salter's passive on this particular setup. All right, and if you look at Salter's skill, at the end of Salter's turn, once you have, once you have molten irons or Ong stacked to the limit, all of them will be consumed to grant shields of fire for 1 turn. Okay, so once this is set up, you basically get a shield of fire, okay, immune to damage of a basic or a skill once afterwards remove this buff. So as long as you time it perfectly, you get the shield of fire up, you basically can be immune to all of Luz's attack. And then you have the pet removing your debuff, then you're pretty much set, right? So additionally reduced to grant by A layers. If allies within their turn limit grants Salter layer, each ally can only trigger this once on their turn. So what actually happens is you can trigger it, but also all these joint attack and extra turns will give you extra stacks. All right, so we'll actually see this a little bit in action. Salter, you don't want, from a gearing perspective, this is how things are set up. First of all, Chelsea's the one that's going to be doing the most damage, okay, without a doubt, because Chelsea by default, just simply is a boss killer with the way Prairie Flame is set up, right? So here Chelsea again, it's not the best build that I can get. I don't even have the right echo for her. You will want to use her own echo here. I'm just using a copy of Anna's echo simply because she has the ability to trigger all 4 layers, which would be really nice to be able to increase burn damage for the entire team. from this setup. Now, devouring set, basically this was a set I have from Little Jack. What's really nice is about between Chelsea and Little Jack, you can move the entire Little Jack set over, which will be really helpful for maxing her damage. Little Jack here really is just to be like a stat stick. So 250 mastery, fully transferred over. Personal damage. Remember, you can only do burn damage on the boss. So normally we will build Little Jack with a ton of crit hit as well, crit into his build. That's actually not required because the direct damage portion of his damage would not be very effective against the boss. So it's only the burn portion of his damage will go through. I hope this gets edited out somehow. And you guys all know my completely absence of editing skills. I have no idea what's wrong with my internet tonight. And it's already 1:40 at night. Let me quickly show the other clip over here. This is how I kind of cleared it on the stage 2, and like I mentioned in a previous video, if you're early in the game, you're not going to have a lot of good burn units. So the reality is what you will likely run is 3 key support with a 2 tag required to actually complete this. So here a lot of people may have access to Moloch, and Chelsea was recently available quite a bit. So having the 2 of them with joint attack, Ben Austin is going to be super helpful for clearing a lot of the difficulty too, because it takes advantage of joint attack of all the tag heroes, allowing you to just reduce your investment in some of these heroes. I basically moved the best 2 set of gears on damage for mastery and attack over to the 2 of them, and then basically this was done in a reasonable amount of attempts. Catherine's really helpful for cleaning all of the bleed dots, and between Catherine and Santa, I made sure that my shield was up most of the time so that the 2 of them don't die. But back over here, I'm glad the internet's back now. From a setup perspective, Chelsea, max damage. I talked about Jack and Ro is still the same setup. I happen to have Skill Master on him, which is really helpful. Moloch has 1 copy of Combat Vanguard. Now, if you look at Orb Impact, Combat Vanguard, I probably should remove it, because if you look at his damage, right? For Combat Vanguard to work, you have to do each stage inflicts 100% burn damage. So he has to have some sort of direct damage for this to work. So this is again another common mistake. Now I haven't had the chance to remove this off of his Moloch yet. This really should be something like a mastery 1. Little Jack, in this situation, instead of versatility aura, maybe a copy, like a spare copies of Combat Vanguard works, because his damage actually is split, right? He has direct damage as well as burn damage, so he can actually trigger Combat Vanguard. All of the other hero, Little Jack can also do direct damage as well, because this portion is direct damage. If you actually read Combat Vanguard very carefully, I'm not sure if there's a way to show it here. Maybe once we're in combat, it actually says you can only trigger Combat Vanguard when you're doing direct damage. So later you will notice that I'm actually not landing Combat Vanguard onto the enemy. From a echo perspective, Brain Traveler's Diary is always helpful. So make sure one of your heroes do have Traveler Diary here. Moloch is a great pick for that option, since everyone else kind of have a much more decent echo. Most of the damage is going to come from Little Jack here, and as well as Chelsea. We'll watch in terms of how I actually time this fight to maximize, to make sure that I always have Heart of Iron up. Okay, we're going to go into the fight, and fingers crossed, I don't make too many mistakes and embarrass myself. Finally, I think we have to double check the pet. We'll go check the pet later. I'm not sure if exclusive 0 you get the cleanse, or you really need 1 star on it. But let's get started on this fight. So it's all about counting the number of turns, right? And paying attention to which attack the boss is on, because you don't have, you really only have, I think, 2 or 3 lives that you can spare from Big Jack. So you don't have that much room for mistakes, right? and Bambi's not there to save you when you get a big hit. So, or right, sorry, let's just show here combat vanguard. I think it describes here. Okay, inflict deep damage when dealing direct damage. This is the part people always forget about. It's actually direct damage for you to trigger. So that's why later when you see Moloch, there's no point in the game where you actually see that I land combat vanguard, that icon, onto the enemy. Okay. So getting started, knowing Salter is going to be fast enough. Salter is going to put the shield up. We're going to start off with just getting some quick early damage in from here. And here we're not getting. Here we are seeing we got four stacks. Okay, so look at all those hit, right? All of those joint hit and pursue hits actually got the extra stacks. All of them count. Okay, towards that 6. So here I'm gonna put the shield up. And you can see I got hit. So if you timed it so that you actually get a total of 8 hits, I would have taken 0 damage. Now everybody instantly get the shield up. So now I have to find a way to do a total of 8 more hits just before the next one to time it right. So that's 1. Giving everyone speed up at this point in time will probably give me a couple of extra turns. Here I can take a double turn. That will bring me to a total of 6. Salter is likely to go, and I think Moloch is going to go. So that's a total of, that should be a total of 8. So here's 1, and the pursuit. Okay, so the pursuit attack also counts as 1. So, and the joint attack from that also counts as 1. So you can see it's actually really easy to stack it up, but it's also really easy for you to lose them because you only get 1 turn window. So I'm still learning how to do this, but that's essentially, you know, the molten layers. You just got to be really careful here. So now I'm about to lose it again, but you can see other than Salter, Little Jack is going to get hit pretty hard. Here, I think this is going to be what? This is going to be 6 and 7, and I just lost 1. Okay, so obviously really bad at this. We're going to give this one more try, but this is exactly how he did it, okay? It takes a lot of practice and to know exactly how to count this. And I know I'm embarrassing myself, but the guy cleared stage 5 very early on. And I know a lot of people are stuck on 5 trying to figure out, you know, how do I do this without O'Grady's or the Raven Pet? You don't need O'Grady's. You just need determination and know how to do this. So let's try to time this a little bit better this time. Instead, maybe I'll start with a speed up. So we're 2, 3. So whenever she moves, I should be able to get 4, right? 1, 2, 3, and now I'm going to be at 8. Yeah. And I kind of went over a little bit. Whoops. So Moloch is going to get hit. I think from a speed perspective, I think there needs to be a little bit of work done on speed tuning as well, just to time this. So we're at 9. So Moloch is going to get. Oh, right. Oh, another thing I have to remember. I think doesn't Moloch have some sort of built-in mechanic around immunity? Right. Whenever he has 2 layers of meteor, grant self and control immunity for 1 turn. This can only be triggered once before falling meteor showers cast each time. So yeah, this is really great. So Moloch has a little bit of immunity on itself, so you have, you know, a margin of error here. So now you have 3 stacks. I think if you speed tune your team perfectly, it's almost like you can always get a trigger right. So all of a sudden we went from like 3 stacks all the way to 7. So now we immediately pursue and we're at 8. Little Jack, meteor, we got 1 meteor. Now we got 4. So if Chelsea goes a couple times, we should be able to time it perfectly. So here, Chelsea, 1, and the joint attack, and this, and turn meter wise, perfect. So we're going to survive the next hit because we're going to take 0 damage. Perfect. Okay, now we just have to do this another 18 turns. Oh boy. There is the opportunity to actually put this now onto Little Jack as well, I think, because next turn I can psycho it back, right? And now having both of them doing joint attacks, so Little Jack now will give me 2 stacks instead of 1 because the joint attack with Big Jack will count as the extra one. So let's see if that theory is correct. So yeah, we get 7. Oh, he also get. Whenever detonation damage is triggered, Salter also do a joint attack? Okay, so yeah, whenever you get that shield fire, you also pursue attack the enemy one. So every time when you get to that 8th stack, you get one more joint attack from him. Okay, so now we're full. Okay. Okay, everyone's live, and then Moloch should be able to. Okay, so the second one is the one that hits a lot more. That's okay. We're okay. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. We still have the shield, so we're at 4 stacks. We're gonna take way too many turns here. Yeah, we're gonna end up. Okay, we got 2 extra. Okay, so Chelsea all of a sudden now goes. We get a total of 5, and Malosh goes. We're safe again. Okay, perfect. So 1 joint. Okay, we're at 7, and Malosh goes. Perfect. We're 8. I'm getting the hang of this. But as you can see, this is totally doable, right? Oh, great. Jack just went. Oh, I forgot to count for that. Okay, well, Jack is going to go. L. Okay, so Jack just lost his. I just lost a life there on Jack. But that's okay. Oh, it's not lost. We still got. We can get to the next point and we get one more life back. Okay, so here we can let's do it on Little Jack here for the extra turn. And you notice the whole time, right? Like I said, the Combat Vanguard is not getting triggered, so don't put a Combat Vanguard on any of your heroes that that don't do direct damage. That's a very common mistake people make, and I've made it, like by putting it on Ronai, like a 5-star Combat Vanguard on Ronai. So yes, that was not good. I think we're at. I hope Salter gets to go. Anyways, you get the idea. We're gonna end the video here. I'm sure with enough practice, I'm gonna be able to pull off this amazing feat. But this is how Shishili managed to pull it off and clear stage 5 that early in the game. To be able to do it with a Raven pet, which was a very impressive feat. I'll leave it there. I mean, for the most part, I think the nice thing to know is, not a lot of people have gotten this done. I think Flurry has O'Grady's E3 now. I know some people tried with O'Grady's E1. You really need E3 O'Grady's, where every time when you do detonation damage, you're stacking up shield. Before then, you're not gonna have enough survivability. So yes, congratulations, Defiled. You're gonna be up there probably with Flurry. But yeah, so this is kind of the in and outs of this boss. You need to make sure you cleanse it, and you need to make sure your shield is up. Because there is no AoE cleanser, Raven Pet is really useful, but you really need O'Grady's to stack up the shields. If you're early in the game, what you can prioritize on, again, like I said, is focus on just having 2 key support. If you have, I don't think early game is going to have O'Grady's. Like, if you have here, put in Little Jack, you'll do perfectly fine. We can take a quick look at what the lower rank players have, right? Big Jack is a great option. So Big Jack, Big Jack, Chelsea, Little Jack. If you happen to have Salter, that's a great pick once you get to 4 heroes. Always bring a Catherine for cleanse. That's going to be super helpful with survivability. If you don't have Catherine and Murong's gonna just help you brute force, tank, and heal your way through a lot of stuff. That's also another viable option. So yeah. Anyways, remember what I said about copying homework, right? So if you're a whale and a crack and you don't want to figure out the teams, just wait until near before reset. Copy somebody else's team, and you'll probably beat them with your higher stats. All right. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Hopefully this guide has been helpful for you. If you like it, please leave a like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, drop it in the comments below. Gandalf out.